Here's one called the 6-cone box. We start with 3 linebackers along the line, 2 facing one way, 1 facing the other. The guy facing the other way is the running back. You can't see him here, but there's 3 cones on the 20, and there's 3 cones on the 30. Each guy has to run around a cone, turn around. Now the running back's going to try to break the leverage of either of the defenders. Both defenders are going to try to maintain their leverage and force a vice tackle. So as we turn around as the defenders here, we first got to locate where the ball is. We don't know which cone he ran to. So he ran around the middle cone, makes it easy. We both converge, and we make a vice tackle. Here's another one now. This defender chooses to go around the middle cone. So does the ball carrier. So now he's head up with the ball carrier. He needs to make sure that he works himself back into leverage by moving off to his left. So if he's stacked with the ball carrier, that's not where we want to be. He wants to get back into leverage so he can create a vice. And you can see these guys working when they get close, near foot, near shoulder. We want to approach this guy near foot, near shoulder, so that way when we make contact right here, this guy's got his left foot up, the other guy's got his right foot up, and then we'll make a good solid tackle if this was a live situation. And same example here. He's going around the middle cone, running back's going around the middle cone. 34 there has to reestablish his leverage, so he's running to go create his leverage, knowing that he's got good pursuit coming from the backside. If this guy cuts all the way back, he'll make the tackle. He's responsible for getting back into leverage. So he's got to take a severe angle to get out there and get back on the ball. And this is a little variation that we've added recently. We'll get these guys running in a circle like this, and then at one point I'll say go, and wherever they're at, they have to go find a cone to get around. So in this drill, nobody knows if they're offense or defense before the drill starts. So the purpose of this is just to add another element of chaos, another element of snap decision making, because you have to figure out, number one, which way I have to go. Number two, as I'm running, am I on offense or defense? And then once I figure that out, once I flip around, where should I go now? If I'm the running back or I'm the defender. So it just adds a little extra to it. We do the 6-cone drill the way I showed it the first way a lot. And then we will add that extra wrinkle at the end to make it a little bit harder. I wouldn't start with this. I would graduate to this once you get good at the other one. But it just adds more decision making to the drills, which I think is always a good thing. On this next one here, we start in a box. So it's 2-on-2 leverage drill. So we've got 2 guys here, we've got 2 guys here, and they're spaced out the same. They're about 10 yards apart. I have the ball here. I'll throw it to one of the 2 offensive players. Whoever doesn't receive the ball turns into a blocker. So in this case, this guy here is now a blocker. He can block whoever he wants. These 2 are defenders. They're doing the same thing we were doing before. They're closing, trying to create a vice tackle, but now there's a blocker in the way. So we have to address a blocker if we get him, and we have to address him with correct leverage too. There's a lot going on in this drill that I really like. This linebacker down here doesn't get the blocker, so he just simply turns it into an open field tackle drill. He needs to just maintain his leverage and close the space. The other guy has to address the blocker, punch, and play off. So it gives it a little bit more of a live element to it where you've got to mess with the blocker. You don't know who's going to get the ball. You don't know who's going to get blocked. You can put a lot of skills together all at once. Just trying to help the guys understand that you are not the only person on the field. You don't have to make every tackle. You have to keep your leverage and make the tackles that come to your leverage, but you also have to force the ball back inside and trust that other guys are coming too. Here's a drill that I'll do early on in the preseason. Call this the 3-way drop and leverage. So I'll start 3 linebackers right there over the ball and just have them get into 3 different drops, 2 on a 45 and then 1 straight back. They're going to drop, chop their feet when they get there, and then they're going to come back down on command, and whoever the dummy ball carrier is here, this guy in the black, he's going to move back and forth, and as they approach, they're going to move, and I'm going to check their footwork when they get there. I want both outside guys to have their near foot up, and I want the middle guy to be square. Now here's a drill that we do to teach them how to swoop. So we talked about the swoop in the tackling video. That's a near foot gallop. So our near foot's up and we're galloping and following with that back foot. So we've got 2 guys down here and we've got 1 guy down there who's the running back. He's just moving back and forth on the line. When he stutters his feet, lowers his hips, we get into the swoop. When he's running back and forth, we just run as fast as we can. So these guys will close. When he's running, they're running. When he's stuttering, they're swooping. You see they're getting into it there. And then when they finish, they should be in a near foot, near shoulder situation, tagging off as they run by. It just teaches them when a ball carrier is running and you're closing distance, when he stutters his feet, we need to stutter our feet too. There will be times when we just run through, but there are times when we need to stutter our feet and prepare for him to change direction. So here we're running and swooping and just getting them used to having their near foot up as they're approaching the ball carrier. A lot of times guys will come in, and if the ball carrier is right here, they'll get into this position, they'll tackle, and then they'll get dragged because they don't have any power behind them. We want the near foot to be up so they can hit and they can bring their hips and use their power. Here's an engaged tackling drill we use. So we'll have the ball carriers run tight to the shoulder of the blocker so that the blocker has to hang on to the block and make the tackle at the same time. So here the best example is number 30 right here on the right. So the ball carrier's coming tight to him. He's punching, and then as the ball carrier comes, he lowers his pad level, run our feet, and we make the tackle. So the key is you got to have the blocker hang on to him hard, and you got to have the running back run straight tight to the blocker, so that way it's an engaged tackle. So we can work a lot of different skills here. These are type of tackles that will happen on the line of scrimmage or in the box. It's not going to happen out in open space, but we operate in short space a lot of times. So this is a good drill for us to practice having a guy hanging on us and being able to still make a tackle.